This video is designed to help you start a vertical farming business. At the end of the video, you'll find a valuable gift. It's a vertical farming business plan that you can download, and will lay down for you, step by step, everything you need to know to start a successful vertical farming business of your own. If you are new to this channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more videos like this. Vertical farming is the practice of food production that takes the form of vertically stacked layers and vertically inclined surfaces. The method is executed inside a controlled environment building, usually without soil or natural light. The method of growing the crops in a vertical farm involves the following elements: temperature control, humidity control, artificial lighting, control and monitoring of nutrients and fertilizer. When undertaking vertical agriculture as a small to medium business, planning is essential. You need to ensure that you can sell what you grow, and that your production costs are not too high. The first step to ensuring this, therefore, is picking the right crops. The aspiring vertical farmer needs to conduct a feasibility study and come up with a profitable and sustainable plan. This is because each species you plan to grow will have a growing method tailored to its needs. Determining the daily nutrient and light uptake each crop requires is crucial. The objective of indoor farming is to maximize volume. This is achieved by maximizing the output efficiency per square meter, which is where the vertical tower structure comes from. Lighting. Optimizing light for crop growth in vertical agriculture usually involves a mixture of grow lights and natural light. Specialized technologies like rotating beds increase the efficiency of the light sources and can fulfill different crop requirements. Growing medium. There are 3 different models for the indoor agriculture system. 1. Hydroponics. In hydroponics, crops grow in a nutrient-rich water basin, and water is recirculated, creating better efficiency and lower water consumption. Scalable in size and cost, hydroponic farming is highly adaptable to its farmers' production goals and needs. It includes methods like drip irrigation, deep water culture, ebb and flow, nutrient film technique, and the wick system. 2. Aeroponics. Aeroponic farming involves frequently spraying crops with a nutrient-based mist, using a periodic timer, no soil, sunlight, or water. Aeroponics delivers nutrients directly to the plant roots to conserve water and reduce intensive labor. Scalability is another massive benefit of this method, and crops are easily harvested without soil. 3. Aquaponics. A closed-loop food production system, aquaponics is the practice of cultivating both fish and plants. The fish provide nutrients and beneficial bacteria to the plants, which in turn filter the water for the fish. Aquaponic farming creates a highly productive and balanced ecosystem with many benefits, including its water-conservative approach. Many built-in sustainable features, like rainwater tanks, wind turbines, and multi-purpose spaces, can offset energy costs in a vertical farm. Indoor farming uses less water than conventional farming practices, and is not season-dependent for seed growth, which maximizes revenue year-round. With the right hydroponic, aeroponic, or aquaponic farm setup, you can grow almost anything. Just because you can do so, however, doesn't mean you should. Consider the following aspects when choosing the best crops for your vertical farm. Economic viability. Especially if you're growing for profit, study the economics of the species you have shortlisted for your indoor farm. Demand. What is the demand for this crop within your area, or within the market you choose to serve? You may decide that your project will provide for your family, as well as for your local community. Growing technique. Though vertical farming methods mean lower overheads on average, the size and particular system you use dictates your short and long-term production costs. You'll want to keep these figures as minimal as possible. Climate. Different systems have climate requirements, heating, cooling, and lighting, that may necessitate another sectioned off space. Consider if you have the room and operations budget for your chosen system design. As a grower, striking a balance between these elements ensures maximum yield and value out of your indoor farm. All good things take time. Patience is a necessary element of indoor agriculture. This truth is embodied in what is called in farming as a turn. A turn is the total amount of time it takes to introduce a seed or seedling into the farm system, grow it, and harvest it as a mature plant, for sale at the market, or serving on your plate. There are 2 types of crops you can choose to grow: fast-turn crops and slow-turn crops. Dependent on your growing reason, needs, and requirements, you can pick either one or both for your vertical farm. Fast-turn crops include lettuce, cabbage, chard, collard greens, mustard greens, parsley, cilantro, mint, chives, basil, and various microgreens. They usually take up to 6 weeks to produce. Slow-turn crops are typically harder to grow, but have a higher revenue margin compared to leafy greens. This includes woody herbs like oregano and rosemary, and fruiting crops like strawberry and tomato. A good guide to follow for a beginner grower is to plant 80% greens, and 20% herbs. The next part of the video is not specific to a vertical farming business. Nevertheless, this knowledge is essential for success in the vertical farming business, as well as in any other business. Ignore it at your own peril. Operating a successful vertical farming business will depend on the following 4 conventions. 1. A practical plan, with a solid foundation. 2. Dedication, and willingness to sacrifice, to reach your goal. 3. Technical skills. 4. Basic knowledge of management, finance, record keeping and market analysis. As a new owner, you will need to master these skills and techniques if your business is to be successful. Finding a niche. Small businesses range in size from a manufacturer, with many employees, and millions of dollars in equipment, to the lone window washer, with a bucket and a sponge. Obviously, the knowledge and skills, required for these two extremes, are far apart, but for success they have one thing in common. Each has found a business niche, and is filling it. The most critical problems you will face, in your early planning, will be to find your niche, and determine the feasibility of your idea. Get into the right business at the right time, is very good advice, but following that advice, may be difficult. Many entrepreneurs plunge into a business venture, so blinded by the dream, that they fail to thoroughly evaluate its potential. Is your business idea feasible? Before you invest time, effort, and money, the following exercise will help you separate sound ideas from those bearing a high potential for failure. Identify and briefly describe the business you plan to start. Identify the product or service you plan to sell. Answering yes to any of the following 3 questions means you are on the right track. A negative answer to all of them means the road ahead could be rough. 1. Does your product or service satisfy an unfilled need? 2. Will your product or service serve an existing market in which demand exceeds supply? 3. Will your product or service be competitive, based on its quality, selection, price, or location? Market analysis. For a small business to be successful, the owner must know the market. To learn the market, you must analyze it, a process that takes time and effort. You don't have to be a trained statistician to analyze the marketplace, nor does the analysis have to be costly. Analyzing the market is a way to gather facts about potential customers, and to determine the demand for your product or service. The more information you gather, the greater your chances of capturing a segment of the market. Know the market before investing your time and money in any business venture. The following questions will help you collect the information necessary to analyze your market, and determine if your product or service will sell. This brief exercise will give you a good idea of the kind of market planning you need to do. An answer of no to any of the questions indicates a weakness in your plan, so do your research until you can answer each question with a yes. 1. Do you know who your customers will be? 2. Do you understand their needs and desires? 3. Do you know where they live? 4. Will you be offering the kind of products or services that they will buy? 5. Will your prices be competitive in quality and value? 6. Will your promotional program be effective? 7. Do you understand how your business compares with your competitors? 8. Will your business be conveniently located for the people you plan to serve? 9. Will there be adequate parking facilities for the people you plan to serve? Planning your startup. The following questions are grouped according to function. They are designed to help you prepare for opening day. Merchandise. Have you decided what items you will sell or produce, or what services you will provide? Have you made a merchandise plan, based upon estimated sales, to determine the amount of inventory you will need to control purchases? Have you found reliable suppliers, who will assist you in the startup? Have you compared the prices, quality, and credit terms of suppliers? Business records. Are you prepared to maintain complete records of sales, income and expenses, accounts payable, and receivables? Have you determined how to handle payroll records, tax reports, and payments? Do you know what financial reports should be prepared, and how to prepare them? Finances. A large number of small businesses fail each year. There are a number of reasons for these failures, but one of the main reasons is insufficient funds. Too many entrepreneurs try to start and operate a business, without sufficient capital, money. To avoid this dilemma, you can review your situation by analyzing the following 3 questions. 1. How much money do you have? 2. How much money will you need to start your business? 3. How much money will you need to stay in business? In order to answer the second question, how much money will you need to start your business? You need to prepare an estimate of all your startup costs. Here is a list of items you may need to take into account. Note that this list is for a retail business. Items will vary for service, construction, manufacturing or online firms. Decorating and remodeling, fixtures and equipment, installing fixtures and equipment, services and supplies, beginning inventory cost, legal, professional fees, licenses and permits, telephone utility deposits, insurance, signs, advertising for opening, unanticipated expenses. Now, the answer to the third question, how much money will you need to stay in business? Must be divided into 2 parts, immediate costs, and future costs. From the moment the door to your new business opens, a certain amount of income may come in. However, this income should not be projected in your operating expenses. You will need enough money available to cover costs for at least the first 3 months of operation. The following list will help you project your operating expenses on a monthly basis. Typical expenses for 1 month may include your living costs, employee wages, rent, advertising, supplies, utilities, insurance, taxes, maintenance, delivery, transportation, miscellaneous. Now sum up the total estimated monthly expenses and multiply it by 3. This is the amount of cash you will need to cover operating expenses for 3 months. Deposit this amount in a savings account before opening your business. Use it only for those purposes listed in the above list, because this money will ensure that you will be able to continue in business during the crucial early stages. By adding the total startup costs to the total expenses for 3 months, you can learn what the estimated costs will be to start and operate your business for 3 months. By subtracting the totals of the lists from the cash available, you can determine the amount of additional financing you may need, if any. Now you will need to estimate your operating expenses for the first year after startup. The first step in determining your annual expenses is to estimate your sales volume, month by month. Next, determine the cost of sales. You may want to use a spreadsheet to do this. After startup, the primary source of revenue in your business will be from sales, but your sales will vary from month to month because of seasonal patterns and other factors. It is important to determine if your monthly sales will produce enough income to pay each month's bills. An estimated cash flow projection will show if the monthly cash balance is going to be subject to such factors as the following: failure to recognize seasonal trends, excessive cash taken from the business for living expenses, too rapid expansion, and slow collection of accounts if credit is extended to customers. Conclusion: if you have carefully answered all the questions in this video, you have seriously thought about your goal. However, there may be some things you may feel you need to know more about. Owning and running a vertical farming business is a continuous learning process. Research your idea, and do as much as you can yourself, but don't hesitate to seek help from people who can tell you what you need to know. As we conclude this video, it's time you get your free Vertical Farming Laboratory Business Plan gift. Go to the description below this video to get it now. It is completely free, no strings attached. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and hit the subscribe button for more videos like this.